we basically were going to recreate a Nextel walkie-talkie type situation. Now, we totally ran out of time, but we worked asses off on this thing. We just ran out of time. One of the major problems that we ran into that we were running around like chickens with our heads cut off is we actually implemented a custom server. It's Apache with a custom written servlet, server and client, with a MySQL database server, spring injected dependencies, the whole 9 yards, and a custom client for the Android back and forth, so the connections. I could serve this from my house, which we proved we could actually do that. I had people connect and download files from it, and all that worked out fine. But I don't have. We didn't have. If I would have went home and set this up, we wouldn't have had a chance to install code on the phones. Now that does work when the code is installed on the phones. It can connect to the server, but here I don't have a network connection. And so it just became a big old snafu. So what I'm going to do here to demonstrate this is I'm going to turn my laptop into an ISP. I'm going to run the database server, I'm going to run Apache, and then I'm going to run an emulator, and I'm going to log in. I'm going to show you guys how we can send a file across the wire, and we have a timer task sitting in the background acting as like a little thread pool going, querying the server every so often, checking do I have a message waiting for me, and if yes, give it to me and play it. Okay, give me a second to get this together here. You can see on my lovely code. Okay, here we go. That's going to pop up.
Also, none of us have data plans.
Yeah, none of us have data plans on the phone. Okay, disregard that. That's just my JSP page. Man, this is a small resolution. Okay, where's my IntelliJ? There we are. Getting servers fired up. Okay, I'm going to fire up right here onto a.
I don't know whether to praise you for picking a hard project or condemn you for picking a project you didn't have the resources to do easily.
If we had like 2 or 3 days, we can get this done.
I was going to put this on the LinProg too, but they don't have servlet support.
Right.
And I didn't realize that until I had gone all the way through. There's no AJAX support at all.
Yep.
So it was just like,
I think you might have been able to actually have 2 different phones talking to each other like today, except we don't have enough devices that can connect to the CS.
Right.
And so
right.
we're just going to simulate it.
yeah, I have a little tool called DB Visualizer. Man, this is a small screen. Get this together here. Where is it? DB Visualizer is right here. You will see. This is actually a visual representation of the database. I only have 2 tables. I got a user table and I got a conversation table. Basically works like this. You log in, it sets your flag, is logged into true. You have your user, your password, and the conversation. Whenever a file gets sent across the wire, and in the session, all your data is stored. It has your login name, it has your password, and whatever other information you want to put in there. Whenever a file gets sent, it gets put into here. And it has, instead of actually storing a blob in the database, I store just a string that is a reference to it. So if this is consume flag equals true or equals false, as you'll see here in a moment we demonstrate it, the code goes through and query, give me all where it's not this person or receiver, give me all the receivers that don't have a consumed message. And after that's done, set the flag to true and send the message across. Okay, so we're going to log in here as user. And block. I thought it was 1. 2 is the receiver. Okay, it's going to connect. I hope it's going to connect. These emulators make me swear a lot. A lot. Okay, so essentially what happens here is, what we wanted to do originally is we wanted to have an idea of channels. You would have a different channel, and this can do multi-users if we had more time. I totally would have stuck it in there. It doesn't matter who you connect to, you would have been able to, I can return everybody that's logged in, and based on that you can select who you want to talk to, and the servlet doesn't care, you just connect to it, and it knows who you're talking to, and so on and so forth. So you would open a channel here, and you select out of the users that you want. Here we're just going to select this, and right now it's going, oh wait, no, I totally got it. I put the card in front of the horse. I'm going to, I have to send the file off first. Now let me go to my little temp directory here where I'm keeping stuff, and I'll keep it over here so you can see that it actually does go across the wire. Go across the wire. There it goes. See, there's my. The way that the file name is recorded, I just take a nanosecond timestamp on it. That way I'm guaranteed a unique file. But then when I query the database later on, I go by minimum, I do an auto-incrementing ID, integer ID, and that way I just take the minimum ID where is logged in or is consumed equals false. So now we've got that. I'm not firing up a second emulator, although it does work, because with 4 gigs of RAM, you're not getting there. Oh. I almost killed it there. There it is. And we're going to log in as the second user, which is, creatively enough, user 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very secure password. And I'm going to log in. We have success. Now, how this would normally work when you open up the channel, that would fire up the timer task on the back, and it would send and query the server every, what, 5 seconds?
Right now.
Do you have something for me? If yes, give it to me. If not, I'm going back to sleep. So what we have right here, you'll see in the DB visualizer, that right now I have a, should just sound something that just came across. Now I'm going to set this to true to demonstrate how the...
Basically, this means that right now there is no message being held for anyone. So when user 2 logs in right now, the timer task will shoot up, but it's not
Nothing's
going to
happen.
receive anything because there's nothing there.
Select the user selected. So now the timer task is firing up, but there's nothing for it to
Volume
receive.
just in case.
Now we'll go back to DB visualizer and we'll simulate the same thing as if.
So basically now, when we go back to the database, we're going to set the flag to false, and basically this will just mean that it just got a message for user 2 to receive.
That's false. So we go back to our thingy map here, and now we're going to go back to here, and we are user 2, open channel, and it should work. And it's
This is the other way. User 1 right now is set to receive support.
okay.
So here's set.
Okay, we'll go back to user 1.
Login.
Sorry about that. I got my things backwards here.
Again, it's still a work in progress.
Yes. They wanted to add GPS functionality, which was really awesome. You're talking to somebody. They came up with a really nice map view. Select the person, and wait.
Well, again,
I have to set that to.
Well, no, I think they're both set.
That's a lot of icons.
So that's.
We already demonstrated.
Alright.
Do that. And we're going to save that, and now it's if it's false. Hopefully, it's not going to make you relaunch thingy. So now we're there. It is.
Waiting for it.
It was waiting for it. It got set to false. It queried it. It had something for it. Came back. Plays a tool song. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Cool.
We have the code also that'll record a message
But we
and
couldn't.
send that button.
Can't. We tried doing it. The emulators
Right.
microphone that just does.
But the server part has already been done in 100-220. Like they have like a zip module that's been deployed into 220. But if that 220 device, we didn't even have to like run the whole server. We could just have time initial zip session, and then our job would have been much easier.
There was, we had an option where we could forego this entire database entirely and actually just set up a Gmail system. And it would just constantly just get emails, and when your client consumed it, it would just put that email into the trash folder.
Another neat little thing we could have done is if we would have been using 2.3 or higher, there's a SIP library and free SIP servers that totally does VoIP. We would have been done in like 2 hours.
All right, thank you.